Words matter. And when we use words that are wrong, or we use correct words in the wrong way, we perpetuate a problem that I think we need to start changing the tide on.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
Hey everybody, I want to talk to you today about language. No, I'm not going to get a swearing jar out and put $1 in every time I drop the F-bomb. There would be none in there, of course. I want to talk to you about the importance of the words that we use as appraisers and as business owners. But I first want to remind you that we are sponsored today by Alamode Software. You know, talk about a word that matters in the appraisal world. Alamode, everybody knows what Alamode is. Boy, if you don't, I don't know what rock you've been living under. You need to check them out. They are the leader in the appraisal software world. It's alamode.com for more information, or you can call them at 800-ALAMODE. And, fairly new to the scene, been around about half a decade or so, is DataMaster. DataMaster, of course, is also well known throughout the appraisal world as the company to go to that will help save you 30 to 60 minutes per report. You can go to datamasterfreetrial.com/coach. Once again, it's datamasterfreetrial.com/coach and try them out for 2 full weeks. Finally, another well-known word and phrase and company in the appraisal industry, the appraisal profession, is, of course, Working RE magazine. Working RE is the place that I go to find out what's going on in my own profession and to get straight when it comes to words and language and the verbiage that we use as appraisers. You can check them out by going to Working RE, as in workingrealestate.com. All right, folks, I want to set this up. I was on another one of these stupid chat boards. I say stupid in the most loving and kind manner, Mark. I love 100% real estate appraisers. And this wasn't necessarily there. I don't even remember which one it is. I follow several. So I don't want to call anybody out. But somebody had asked a question about something that was happening in their appraisal world. And they started it out by saying, hey, I did an appraisal the other day that came in under value, blah, 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 and then went on to ask their question. Their question had nothing to do with that first little part. But I'll tell you, that stuck out to me, boy, like a sore thumb. Here's an appraiser who said, I did an appraisal the other day that came in under value. And they were probably talking tongue in cheek, I hope. But it made me think, appraisers, listeners, we've got to be so careful with the language that we use. Why? Because words matter. Words matter. And when we use words that are wrong, or we use correct words in the wrong way, we perpetuate a problem that I think we need to start changing the tide on. Let me give you an example with this particular situation. Folks, how many times have you been speaking to a real estate agent, a lender, a borrower, a number of different people, and they talk about the appraisal that came in under value? Folks, are we correcting that language? And I know some of you are saying, Dustin, what are you talking about? What's wrong with that phrase? What's wrong with that phrase, folks, is I want you to step back for just a second and think about what an appraisal is. An appraisal, on its surface, is a reporting of the accurate value of a home, a property, a business, a commercial enterprise, what have you. Whatever you are appraising, your subject, you are reporting the value. You are reporting the value. Let me repeat that. You are reporting the value. Why am I saying that over and over again? Dustin, you're driving me nuts, right? Language matters, and you keep saying the same damn thing over and over and over again. There we go. That's the first $1 in the swear jar. Just yesterday, folks, I was on a ski lift, chairlift, headed up the hill, and I was sitting next to a buddy of mine. who also skis, and we go together quite often. And he and I got talking about appraisals, and he was a builder in the mid 2000s, okay, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, leading up to 2008. Okay, you all remember what that was like. And he said to me on the chairlift yesterday, he says, Dustin, I used to think that appraisers created value. Or no, he said established value. I used to think appraisers established value. And then I learned that their job was to justify value. Is that right? He asked me. I kind of chuckled a little bit and I said, Adam, neither. An appraiser does not establish value. The market establishes value. Buyers and sellers establish value, right? An appraiser does not justify value. What's there to justify? The value is what the value is. An appraiser reports value, okay? So when I see this Facebook post and somebody saying, I came in under value, folks, I know that's a common phrase, and I know you hear it a lot, and I know the appraiser will often get a phone call from the realtor, from the lender, from the borrower, from whatever, and they will say, you came in under value. Folks, we have got to start correcting language where language is wrong. No, I didn't come in under value. I came in at value. And I didn't come in anywhere. That's another thing we need to correct. We didn't come in anywhere. We reported the value. All right, I'm getting a little heated, getting a little worked up. But I think this is important, appraisers. I think it's important that we correct the record, okay? Normally, when this phrase is used, it's typically used in the context of a purchase. Okay, you've got a willing buyer, you've got a willing seller, they've agreed on a purchase price. Okay, that is a key term. There is a difference between price and value and cost and some other things that we could throw out there, right? These are different things. A lot of times we conflate them. And that's the problem. When an appraiser on a Facebook post says, I came in under value, they're only giving credence to this phrase that's flat out wrong, folks. You as an appraiser are giving your opinion of what the value is per the market. You're not going to come in under value or above value. Now, you may come in under the agreed upon contract price, and I think that's probably what the case was here. And that's often the case when we hear this phrase, hey, appraiser, you came in under value. No, I didn't. I didn't come in under value. I valued the property, or reported the value of the property, rather, less than the agreed upon contract price, which means, buyer, seller, you're not well informed, or you're not making a good decision, or maybe you're well informed and you're making a good decision according to you and you don't care what the value is. You're going to make that deal anyway. Whatever the case is, you're talking about the difference between price and value. Here's my point. And we're going to talk about some other phrases and some other words that we commonly hear and use. But language matters. Words matter. And we are continuing to perpetuate this problem that an appraiser, quote unquote, justifies or establishes value when we use phrases like coming in under value. How do you come in under value? It's not even possible. You're reporting the value, right? Now, if you purposefully somehow know what the value is and then report something else, I guess that's, well, they would call that fraud, but I guess you could justify and say it's coming in under value. But folks, when an appraiser uses that term, they are not giving good service to the appraisal profession. All right, words matter. Words matter. Let's talk about some other words that are commonly used, and these are not as big a deal, probably, but I think we would do ourselves a better service as appraisers, as representatives of the appraisal profession, if we just are a little bit more careful about the words that we use, okay? One of the words, and I am as guilty as anybody else, you can go back to multiple episodes, multiple blog posts. You can talk to me on the phone tomorrow, and I'll probably still use this word. I am retraining a brain that has been using the same word for 23 years that now I realize is not correct. And that is the word inspection. We talk about going out to do the inspection. We schedule the inspection. I'm on the inspection. The other day I was doing an appraisal inspection. Folks, I'm not saying that's a bad word to use. I'm saying there's a better word out there. I think when we use the word inspection, I think that the listener on the other side probably implies that there's more to it than there really is, right? We're careful in our reports to say we are not in-home inspectors and that we're making a tertiary, observation, walkthrough of the property, walk around, that kind of thing. I mean, we put all that language in there, but if we continue to use the word inspection, then we continue to perpetuate a lie that we are inspectors, right? Again, I don't think it's a wrong word to use, but I think that since we're talking about language and we're talking about being careful about the terms and the terminology and the phrases and the words that we use, maybe there's a better word out there. And I saw somebody use it on this was on 100% Real Estate Appraiser's Facebook page. Somebody used the word, and they weren't trying to make a statement with this. They were just actually trying to make another comment or question about something totally different. But in the process, they used the word observation. I was out on my observation the other day. I was scheduling my observation. I was trying to get a hold of the borrower so we could come out and do our observation. I fell in love with that word. Okay. And I know others of you have used it and others of you have seen it. I am going to push that word with my own company, with myself, and with appraisers. I think it's just a better word to use. Again, words matter, language matters, and I think it portrays a little different scenario when you use the word observation as opposed to inspection. Okay, and I think it helps us on our liability side when we use the word observation rather than inspection. Is it a big deal? Am I going to die on this hill? Am I going to freak out every time I use the word inspection? No, it's going to take me 5 years to get over this, right? But I am committed, folks. I am committed to changing my language for the better and to stop using the word inspection and to instead use the word observation. I think it's key. I think it's key, and I think it's important. Okay. Here's one that really is kind of important. Okay. And it's something that's common. It's something that just happens and we don't think about it. Kind of like the first thing we talked about when we talk about coming in under value. It's such a common phrase that I don't think we even step back sometimes and realize how wrong it is, right? This word comps, comparables. Okay. Comps, COMPS, is short in the appraisal world for comparables, and the mortgage lending world, the real estate agent world, all of these individuals that work in real estate, I think, get it. I think they understand what the word comps mean, right? Okay. Here's the problem. We overuse that term comps. Let me give you an example. Now, in order to give you an example, I need to set this up properly. And that is, I've talked about this before on the podcast, and I'll repeat it here. I have no problem at all with borrowers, with realtors, maybe a little bit with lenders, but even then, I don't have any problem with being given a set of sales to take a look at as part of the data of a particular project. Have no problem with that at all. Okay. To me, it's just data. To me, it is just information. And my job as an appraiser is to decide whether or not it is useful. That's the problem, because what we're doing is we're using terms or allowing terms to be used that we shouldn't be. For example, if I'm out on an observation, did you see that? Okay, caught myself. If I'm out on an observation, I'm walking through the property and I get ready to leave, and the homeowner says, hey, I'm a bit of an investor. I'm a member of the MLS, and I've done a little research, and I would like to give you some comps to use in this appraisal. Red flag, right? Again, I don't have any problem with that individual handing me a stack of papers. But when they call them comps, okay, here's the problem. And you've heard this phrase before. They ain't comps till I say they're comps, right? I'm the appraiser. They ain't comps till I say they're comps. Now, I don't know if I would use that phrase with a homeowner or a realtor or a lender or what have you. I might, but I doubt it. But folks, they're not comps unless you think they are, quote unquote, comparable. So when someone hands you a stack of papers and says, here are some comps, in a very tactful, in a very professional, in a very courteous way, I wonder if we wouldn't be better to just kind of correct the record and teach at that point and say, thank you for handing me some of these sales. I will take a look at them. I won't know whether they're actually comps unless and until I do some more research. Okay? A simple way to very courteously correct the record, correct the language that I do think matters. Again, words matter. And when someone else tells you that these are comps, don't forget the phrase, they ain't comps till I say they're comps. Really, a minor thing, yes, but a major thing when it comes down to the fact that words matter. Speaking about another major thing, how would you like to be able to save 30 to 60 minutes per report? You can with DataMaster. Yes, DataMaster will allow you to download the data that you are typing in anyway. Okay, this is key. This is stuff that either you are doing on your own or you are hiring it out. I'm telling you, folks, 30. Okay, let's just go conservative, right? I say 30 to 60. In my office, it's about 45. I'm telling you, let's go conservative. Let's say 30 minutes per report. You think about the number of appraisals that you are doing per month, and you think about saving 30 minutes per report, and you count up the time savings. You're paying somebody $10, $12, $15, $20 an hour to do those comps. Yeah, I said comps, because in this case they are. How would you like to save all of that time? By hitting a button. DataMaster will allow you to do that. You can try them out now for 2 weeks, free. Unlimited downloads. You will be hooked. That's why they give it to you free, folks. It's like crack. You take it once, you'll keep coming back, right? DataMaster freetrial.com/coach. One more time, DataMasterFreeTrial.com/coach. Speaking of saving time and efficiencies, I'll tell you, Alamode has been my go-to software for over 20 years. It should be yours as well. For over 30 years, they've been in business helping appraisers to be more efficient and more effective at what they do. If you're not using Alamode, what the hell are you waiting for? Yes, that's another dollar in the swear jar today. What are you waiting for, folks? I'm telling you, it is the bomb diddly. It's the bomb diddly because it saves you so much time. It allows you to turn in higher quality reports. There are so many tips and tricks and tools and efficiencies that you will find in Alamode. You will wonder why you didn't do it sooner. Folks, jump on your computer and go to alamode.com to check it out or call them at 800-ALAMODE. And we are sponsored today by Working RE Magazine. Just this morning, I got an email from Working RE, and it was an article by Isaac Peck, and I read through it, and I learned something, and I'm telling you that happens a couple times a week. Folks, if you are interested in what your profession is doing, and that's really what we're talking about today, changing the professional for the better by the language that we use. I'll tell you, the language that is used in Working RE is that of information. You being able to understand more fully what's going on in your appraisal world. Check it out by going to Working RE Magazine. You can remember it because it stands for Working Real Estate. WorkingRE.com is where you go on your computer, sign up for their email, and start learning more about the appraisal profession today. And we're back, folks. We're talking today about language. We're talking today about the language that we use, and I'm encouraging that we be a little bit more careful in the language that we use. Some of the things we've talked about is, quote unquote, coming in under value. No, we didn't come in under value. We may have come in under the agreed upon contract price, but we came in at value. And I think we elevate our profession and ourselves when we use the correct language, when we talk about coming in at the market value, which happens to be under the agreed upon contract price. We've talked about the term comps. They ain't comps till I say they're comps, right? Somebody hands you a stack of papers and said, here, I want you to take a look at these comps. You might do well to correct them and help them to understand that they're sales or they're active listings or they're complete junk a lot of times, right? But they ain't comps until I say they're comps. The most important thing that I want to talk about today, and you know, more than anything, this is probably the biggest push that I have tried to make in the last 7 years that I've been doing this. And that is helping us as appraisers to understand who we truly are. The language that we use matters. And when someone asks you what you are and what you do, how do you answer? Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying I'm an appraiser. I think that's probably the thing that we think of first. But how would we do things differently if we change that language just a little bit? And if somebody asked you, what are you, or who are you, or what do you do? Instead of saying, I'm an appraiser, you say, I'm a small business owner. Does that make a difference in the way that you conduct yourself? Does that make a difference in the way that you think about yourself? Does that make a difference in the way that you act as a business owner? Folks, for the last 7 years, I've been trying to teach appraisers that they are not just appraisers. They are not just technicians. And I don't mean just. I don't mean just, because appraisers, to me, it's a profession. It's not a trade. It's a profession. And again, language matters. Language matters. I've been trying really hard to not say the word industry. I still slip, and I try to say the word profession, because I believe we are professionals, and I think we need to treat ourselves that way. But it's not just about appraising. It's not just about the technician side. Remember, the Bible in my mastermind groups is the E-Myth by Michael Gerber. That is the go-to book. And I'll tell you, if there's any message in that book, it is this: that if you are a technician in your business, you need to remember to work on your business and not just in your business. You need to remember to take off your technician hat frequently and put on your CEO hat, that you are a business owner. If there's anything that I could change in the language that we use, appraisers, it would be that we start to look at ourselves as professionals, and even higher, that we look at ourselves as business owners. As we do so, we will find greater success within our business, because we are currently sometimes thinking through a tube of appraiser. When we broaden that, when we open that, when we take the blinders off a little bit and see ourselves as professionals, as business owners, that's when we see success, because we start to run our empire. Yes, I use that word purposely, our empire, the way that it should be run. Folks, I appreciate you joining me today. Again, you're going to hear me use language that I shouldn't use. Not just the swear words. Only $2 today, folks. Only $2 in the swear jar. It's pretty good. Well, we might as well keep this ongoing, right? An ongoing swear jar count. Every time I swear, I got to put $1 in there, and then I'll buy us all a pizza party at the end, right? But language matters. Words matter. The things that we say do matter. And we as a profession should be careful about the language that we use. That's the encouragement today. Thank you for joining me. Catch you next time.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.